Welcome to Student of the Gun Radio. I'm your host, Paul Markle. Thank you for joining us. Now, this week, we decided to record the show a little bit later than we normally do, and ironically, or sadly, that benefited us by being able to talk about this next story. Now, this is breaking as we get it, and by the time you hear this, more details may have emerged. But it's a shooting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And Las Vegas Metro identified 2 police officers who were ambushed while eating lunch by 2 psycho vermin.
Can you drop the link to the story that you're looking at in here for me?
Okay, sure will.
That way I can look at the same one. But yeah, while he's doing that, it's disgusting that this is happening, and you have to ask yourself, why is this happening? And I'll let Dad talk about it before I say anything, because I'm sure he's got a lot of the same things to say as I do, or I have a lot of the same things to say as he does.
All right. Well, the story comes from the reviewjournal.com, and this is the one that we're referencing right here. This is essentially 2 police officers were eating lunch in a pizza shop, and 2 pieces of human debris, a male and a female piece of human debris. We're not going to make them famous on my show. Just scumbag A and scumbag B walked into this pizza shop and just opened fire on the police officers. They ambushed them. It wasn't a robbery gone bad. It was a deliberate murder. Then they took the guns from the officers' bodies, went across the street to a Walmart, and walked right up to the door, shot someone initially. You say, all right, well, that's horrible, and you know, I'm sad for that happening, but what does it have to do with me where I am in the world? I don't live in Las Vegas. You know, I don't live anywhere near there. Well, what it has to do with you is, according to the story, that when these 2 scumbags entered the Walmart, I don't know, set on starting the revolution or whatever they were going to do, according to the story, it says that a concealed carrier, someone with a concealed carry gun, opened fire on them. They retreated to the back of the store, and then apparently they killed each other in a murder-suicide pact. And that's really where we need to address the issue as far as from a student of the gun standpoint. Right now, brace yourselves, because as you hear this on Monday or Tuesday or whenever you catch up to this episode, you will already have been treated to dozens, if not hundreds, of sycophant news stories from the mainstream media, quote unquote, the American propaganda machine. And they're gonna wring their hands, and they're gonna say, "What are we going to do? We need to do something. Something needs to be done." And what they're probably going to find out is that despite all of the laws that have been enacted and all of the background checks that have been enacted and all of the gun control thises and gun control that's, it would not have helped. It would not have stopped this occurrence from happening. People have been killing each other since the dawn of time, and they're not going to stop until the end of time. And the question for you is, what are you going to do in the meantime? And in the meantime, you need to you can either shrug your shoulders, you can surrender, you can say, yes, I want to be a reasonable person. I want to surrender more of my liberty as a free man or a free woman so that vermin, we can be safe from the vermin. Well, I don't believe for one second that good people surrendering their liberty, good people surrendering their ability to defend themselves in any way or fashion diminishes crime or diminishes psycho incidents like this. If nothing else, it's going to embolden them. Now, we don't know exactly the specifics about whether, you know, the pizza shop had a no gun sign or what have you. And I'm sure a lot of people will look into that and see if that's the case or not. But in this situation, what you have to ask yourself is, if I was sitting there eating pizza, you know, I'm sitting there with my family having Sunday lunch pizza or what have you, and 2 vermin come in and open fire on these 2 police officers, what would I do, or what could I do? And you say, well, there's nothing you could do. I mean, these guys decided they were going to walk in the door and immediately engage these police officers. Okay. You see that happening, or it happens, or it unfolds, or what have you. And then they walk over to the police officers' bodies. They start taking their guns and ammunition off of their duty belts. If there would have been an armed person in a legally, lawfully armed good guy in that pizza shop, they could have stopped him right there and kept him from going over to the Walmart and killing someone else. And it looks like, as the story unfolds, and as students of the gun, you guys are going to have to dig deep on your own for this. You're going to have to search, because if it is, in fact, true, it pans out like the initial story says, that a lawful citizen, a good guy, an armed good guy, took the fight to these two turds, and they decided then, rather than fighting against a good guy, they were just going to kill themselves. Don't expect CNN, MSNBC, PMSNBC, or whomever to talk about it. The moment that it's determined that a good guy with a gun made a positive difference, they're going to stop talking about it and they're going to shift gears. So don't expect that. If you're going to have to dig, you're going to have to find out for yourself. You're going to have to look at Student of the Gun radio and TV and some of our other, maybe the Blaze will have a story on it. We'll look that up later. But folks, it's sad that this happens in our nation, but when you're an adult, you understand that we live in an imperfect world. We live in a dangerous world, and the world doesn't become more safe or less dangerous by disarming good people. As a matter of fact, it's the exact opposite. So stand by, batten down the hatches, prepare for the storm. There's going to be more piled upon you, and we're going to be talking about it in the weeks to come. Now, Jared, we're going to move on from that because, quite frankly, we have basically just sketchy details right now on Las Vegas, and I don't want to get too far into it, but I did want to address that point.
Yeah, speaking of sketchy details, the media they're using that have reported on so far, they're calling it a mass shooting. My definition of a mass shooting must be different than theirs, but 3 people. What do you think?
Well, shooting? they say they always. What makes me sick is in order to pump up their numbers, they always include the dead vermin.
Yeah. They say 5, but
they're like 5 dead in shooting, and you're supposed to say, "Oh, a bad person killed 5 people." No, you have to actually read, because they know that 85% of the people out there aren't going to go past the first paragraph. And so they're like 5 dead in shooting. And from, they're sneaky, they're deceitful. They know that they're using the language technically correctly, so they're not lying. It's just it's kind of a lie by deception. 5 dead. And you say, "Oh man, 5 innocent people were murdered." No. 3 innocent people were murdered, and 2 pieces of human debris are now worm food. Are we supposed to shed tears for the psychos? I'm not shedding any tears today. But yeah, watch it. Watch when things like that. They did that same bull crap after the Columbine shootings, where they bumped the numbers of the dead up by 2 when they reported it, and they were doing it until some of the parents really got outraged and started calling them on it.
Well, when you do that, sorry to interrupt you, but when you do that, it puts the victims on the same level as the pieces of human debris that committed the crime.
Yeah, you're saying, "Oh well, they're all the same." No, they're not all the same. I guess the big thing with the Columbine deal was they erected a white cross, like in a lawn or somewhere, in commemoration, and they put 2 crosses there. They put the same number of people dead, including the bad guys. And the people got angry, and they said, "Hey, we're not commemorating these 2 pieces of human filth." So, all right, moving on. We got a lot to talk about, because Jared and I have just come back off the road again. We're logging lots and lots of miles for you guys out there, trying to get some good footage for the new season of Student of the Gun TV. And Jared, is machine gun fire and burning minivans, is that good footage?
Yeah, I think so. Not too often you get to shoot at cars that are on fire, or you make the cars catch fire.
Yeah, shoot bullets. Cars until they catch fire, and then continue to shoot them. And like one of our fans said, they said, "Yeah, well, Iraq, Afghanistan, and sometimes Detroit is when you get to do that." Yeah.
Well, now why do we get to go do all this cool stuff?
Well, because we have a lot of good friends in the industry, and we have good friends at Red Jacket Firearms. Now, before we get too deep into the weeds here, don't forget about our good sponsors, Colt Firearms, the makers of the LE901 308 rifle. Check them out at Colt.com. Crossbreed Holsters, who we've spent a lot of time with here recently. Crossbreed's got some cool stuff, and we're going to be doing a special, kind of a unique deal with Crossbreed coming up very soon. And then Keltec Weapons of Cocoa, Florida. If you watch the newest episode of Student of the Gun TV, you'll see that Keltec has got a really interesting new rifle coming up. And I'll tell you guys, it's a new 5.56 rifle, and it is a bullpup, and you need to take a look at it. They said it's going to be released fourth quarter of this year. So as the calendar tick-tocks away, we're getting closer. Are we in the third quarter officially now? No, we're not quite in the third quarter yet. We're still in the second quarter, but it's coming up. So check out Student of the Gun TV. Now, Jared, we want to tell them that everybody knows that you can watch Student of the Gun at Dish Network, channel 266, Monday nights at 9. And you can watch, obviously, you can see episodes that are posted on studentofthegun.com. But where else on their big old flat screen TV can our audience, our listeners, our students, where can they see the video material?
Well, we just signed a deal with Wilderness TV, and now you can watch Student of the Gun TV on Roku, on Apple TV, on Chromecast, and let me look at the times here real quick when they actually. I'm assuming that they're gonna put the episodes up after they air them. Once they're gonna put them up there for on demand.
Well, yeah, they right now we've got. You just go ahead and go to Wild TV or TVGoneWild.com. Essentially, we a lot of you guys out there in the audience had sent us little notes and stuff and said, "Hey, man, I don't have satellite, and I don't have cable. I have a smart TV and I have a Roku box, or I have an Apple TV box, or what have you." And that really, as we examine it, that is the future. Let's face it, folks. A lot of you guys out there listening, if you're listening to me, you are obviously computer savvy. You're tech savvy. You know how to use either an iPad or an Android phone or what have you. That's where we're going. Your standard, TVs with antennas are already dead. That's done. We know that. And satellite it's still there, but it's on the struggling side. Because why? Well, because people know that, hey, man, if I got a smart TV, I don't have to pay for a satellite. I don't have to pay for cable. Well, all I have to do is have internet. And unless you're Amish or living on top of a mountain somewhere, just about everybody in the United States of America has internet in some form or fashion. And if you don't, I'm sorry for you. I'll write everything down and I'll put it on a piece of parchment and I'll attach it to a carrier pigeon and I'll send it to you. But for the rest of the world, TV is going the way of on-demand viewing or app viewing, such as the Roku and the Apple TV, and we actually just heard, Jared and I, that AT&T is doing a huge push for digital on-demand television. So rather than wait until everyone else on planet Earth is doing it, yours truly and Jared, we've been trying to get a little bit proactive, at least from the gun industry or the firearms industry, and move forward. Jared, you got those times for the people?
Yeah, I'm still looking at my internet's going kind of slow for some reason.
Oh, it must be that Apple computer that you're using over there. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, the one that makes the TV shows.
Well, all right. Well, Jared's looking for that. And what I'm going to tell you guys is, we did spend some time with our friends from Red Jacket Firearms this weekend. We told you we were going to. And a lot of you guys showed up. Well, I don't know if a lot of you did. I know at least a couple of our fans, a couple students of the gun, Ryan Jones, right, Jared? It was Ryan Jones with his bright red beard?
Yeah, from Gun Rights Across America.
Yeah, Gun Rights Across. The guys from Gun Rights Across America were there, and they were taking videos and little interviews and stuff, so I'm sure they're going to have that up on their YouTube channel soon. Had a really good time. It was hot, but it wasn't too hot. I was wearing my kilt, so I was a little bit more comfortable than I was last year.
We had a kilted crew there.
Yes,
time.
We had a kilted crew. And Jared needs to put that picture up on the first Student of the Gun, don't you, Jared?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you never did that yet, did you? It's okay. You got time. All right, what's the times? All right, cool. Well, as we go on, what we're going to talk about now is, before we get into the fun with machine guns, which we definitely want to talk about, this next subject from our XS Sights Good Guy of the Week it's topical because it has to do with being out on the water. And hey, it's the beginning of June. People are starting to take their vacations. And what do we do in America? We like to take vacations. We like to go out. We like to go out, on the water and have a good time. And Pablo, which is Paul in Spanish for some of those non-Spanish linguity speakers there, Paul has a question for us, or Pablo. What is it?
Before I get into the question, I found the times that we're airing, and it's on Wilderness TV, Roku, Apple TV, Chromecast. It's Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. All these times are going to be Eastern Standard Time. Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m., Thursdays at 6:30 p.m., and Saturdays at 5 o'clock p.m. So tune into Wilderness TV on your Roku app, your Apple TV, and your Chromecast to watch us.
So there you go. We've got even more ways for you to reach out and work with Student of the Gun. Now, all right, Jared, tell us what Pablo had to say. What did Pablo have to say?
Pablo posted his question on the forum, which is forums.studentofthegun.com. If you want to post a question to be eligible for the Good Guy of the Week, then do that. Go to forums.studentofthegun.com and post your question. Pablo says, I'm in Louisiana and I like sport boating out on the Red River with my family. When going through the CCP class, we were instructed that we are not legally carrying a weapon on waterways that were not enclosed, like a lake. I am a new Student of the Gun listener. I tried to find any information on carrying on a river and cannot find anything. What do you suggest?
Okay, good question. Very topical because right now a lot of people are indeed getting out on the rivers, on the lakes, and so forth. Now down here on the glorious Gulf Coast of Mississippi, which is where we live, right? Yeah.
Were you going to say Biloxi?
Yeah, I was going to say
Gulf Coast of Biloxi. Well, technically there is a North Biloxi.
Yeah, but down here, basically boating season is 10 or 11 months out of the year, depending. This winter it was maybe 10 months out of the year, but we spend a lot of time out on the water. Guys get their boats out on the water, and they leave them out there all year long. Now, during season 1 of Student of the Gun, which was about 3 years ago, the TV show, we went out and we did a special about being armed on the water. And while we were doing that, we talked to some law enforcement officials. We talked to deputy sheriffs and fish and wildlife people, the guys who you might actually run into. They pull up alongside you and say, oh, what are you guys catching today? Blah, 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 all that kind of deal. And we asked them about being armed on the water. And, you know, we knew from our research that because of the very I guess it would be broad castle doctrine in Mississippi that a boat is an extension of your castle. In Mississippi, a vehicle that you are legally occupying, whether it's a car or a truck or an RV or a boat, it's your vehicle and is an extension of your home. And therefore, you have castle doctrine rights in your castle. And that's essentially the way they look at it down here in Mississippi. Now, where you live, whether it's Louisiana, Texas, Florida, what have you, it may be a little bit different. Now, I do kind of have a hard time believing that the law is so finite and is parsed out so that it says, well, if you're on this part of water, this kind of water, a lake or a pond or an inlet or a bay or whatever, you know, and it says right here, he says, well, you know, an enclosed body of water like a lake. So according to what this guy was told, what Pablo was told, if you're on a lake, you're okay. But if you're on a river, you're not. Well, Jared, what if you're on a bay that is fed by a river? What if you're in a bay that has a huge inlet? How do you go from the bay to the, you know, or you go the river to the bay to the river, to the ocean? Down here you can go literally from the ocean into the back bay up into a river, all without stopping. So it seems strange to me that they would like divide up waterways into certain categories of waterways. You know, what if you're at your neighbor Jim's duck pond, you know, or what if you're in the swamp? It's not really a river. It's not really a lake. I mean, a swamp doesn't have any real hard defined boundaries, right? Can you carry in a swamp? It seems kind of silly, but what I would say to you is, when it comes to specific detailed laws, what the actual law is versus gun shop rumor and gun shop gossip, you need to do your own research. Go to NRA-ILA, Institute for Legislative Action.org, and they have the specific gun laws, carrying laws, whether or not you need to get a permission slip from the government, listed in alphabetical order. So that's a good place to start. It's always a good place to start at NRA'sILA.org. Now, as it is summer and you are going to be going on vacation, we want to encourage everybody to take your defensive mindset with you. Don't leave your defensive brain, don't leave your defensive thought process at home when you go on vacation, because bad people don't take vacations. Evil never takes a vacation. And wherever you happen to go, make sure that you are ready and that you are prepared, because in the end, it is ultimately up to you. It's your responsibility. Do you think that answers the question?
Yeah, I would assume so. Or at least it gives him some direction to go get the specific answer to his question.
Yeah. All right. Fun with machine guns. That is what we had this last weekend. We had fun with machine guns. We talked about just a moment ago. We alluded to. We drove up to Ruston, Louisiana, and thank you very much to the good men and women at the Ruston Police Department for providing the range officers and the facility to do the shoot, the Red Jacket Birthday Bash. Now, if you're a fan of Student of the Gun, you know that for the last 3 years, we've attended the Red Jacket Firearms annual Birthday Bash celebration. It's Will Hayden's birthday, and the first Saturday of every June, what they do is they trot out machine guns and cannons and spend a whole entire day just putting copious amounts of jacketed lead downrange. Did we put copious amounts of jacketed lead downrange yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was awesome.
I would say, you think 100,000 rounds expended? I would say close to it.
Yeah, it was.
Between all the machine guns, there's probably close to 100,000 rounds expended yesterday. And everything went fine. The guns never jumped off the tables and turned on anyone. With all those guns there, everyone was polite. Everyone was friendly. No one got all anxious or antsy or nobody decided they were going to take out their teenage angst on everyone else. It was a very good event. It's free America is what it is.
Yeah, it wasn't an all ages event, but there were people from every
18
age
and up. Yeah.
There was literally
18, 19-year-olds
group.
all the way up to senior citizen and retirement ages. Everybody was there. Men and women. Had a great time. Thank you for, like I said, Ruston, and thank you, of course, to all of our friends at Red Jacket Firearms, to Will Hayden and to Stephanie and Chris and to Joe, of course, who's kind of like the master of ceremonies there, and Zach, our buddy Zach, the silencer guru. All the other guys at Red Jacket, we appreciate you helping us load machine guns, pour water in the water-cooled machine guns. And
I got some pretty cool slow-motion footage of the Maxim. The water was actually Dad did. Dad was holding the camera while I was
Jared
shooting.
was shooting, yeah.
And, he got some pretty cool footage of the water popping out of a little hole while I was shooting it.
Yeah, they did. If you guys know about the Maxim machine gun, the Maxim machine gun goes all the way back to the Russian Revolution time frame, and this particular model is the one with the steel wheels and the steel chassis. Big old gun. It actually they took the blast shield, or they took the armored shield off of it for the shoot, but they do have the matching armored shield that goes on the Maxim. Just a fantastic piece of hardware. I mean, where else in the world can you go and shoot something that very well could have been in the Battle of Stalingrad or World War II or World War I even? It was fantastic. And that gun, we were talking to Joe Moe, and he said that as long as they take that gun out, usually about once a year, and shoot it, and it's never gone down. He said, we've never had a problem with this gun, and the thing's got to be pushing, maybe not a century, but it's pushing a century. It's getting close to it. Maxim water-cooled machine gun, that of course is chambered in 7.62 by 54R. What else did we shoot? We shot the PKM from tripod. They had everything from 22 all the way up to 50 BMG was there. Did you guys know that there is a fully automatic ZK-22? Yes, there are. Now, the Red Jacket Firearms, one of their accessories they make is a ZK-22 stock, and you drop a Ruger 1022 in it. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool little thing. And I know they're in hot supply, and sometimes you have to wait, but get your hands on one. It's a really worthwhile addition to your Ruger 1022. Very well made. Well, Joe, semi-automatic is not quite good enough for them, so they actually brought out not one but two fully automatic versions of the ZK-22. And Jared, how fast do the ZK-22s fire?
1,400 rounds a minute.
1,400 rounds per minute. Zip, zip, zip.
And they were cycling pretty well too.
Yeah, unfortunately, well, you guys know because you're students of the gun that 22 ammunition is it's rare today. It's like hen's teeth, and I was worried that as to whether or not these semi-automatic or actually fully automatic versions of 22s would run with the slower match grade ammo. And to their credit, they did. They ran with match grade ammo, which the slow stuff. Usually, when it's an automatic firearm, they tell you to use the like CCI, high velocity stuff. But the guns ran. I mean, of course, towards the end of the day, they'd had 22s are dirty anyway. They'd had thousands of rounds from them, and we had what else? Oh, lots of like history. We got to shoot the Sten, the Sterling, the M3 grease gun in 45, and as Zach says, he goes, if it was semi-auto, you could pull the trigger faster than the grease gun fires in full auto. We got to see a genuine Israeli Uzi with Hebrew markings on it. And what we learned was, if you pull the selector switch all the way to the rear, even though it's Hebrew and you can't read it, that's safe. And in the center is semi, and forward for fun. That's the mantra for the Uzi. Got to shoot the Uzi. Just had a fantastic time. Hung out with the guys. Had some good food, fellowship, and friendship out there. And, of course, expending copious amounts of ammunition downrange. Had a great time. And so thank you to those guys. And thank you for everybody who came out. I know a lot of you wished you could have been there, but, hey, maybe next year. And it worked very well this year. They had an auction. They had a silent auction. They had a raffle. So I would anticipate that since things did go so well this year, that maybe they're going to do it next year and have it open to the public, just like they did this year. Jared, let's talk to him about, before we get into the Go Team moment, we got a Go Team moment for you. What are we looking at time-wise here, brother?
We're coming up right now on about 30 minutes or so.
Okay. Well, Jared and I are excited. Why are we excited? We're excited because over the last couple of months, we've taken the time and to not only upgrade the website. Jared's been upgrading like crazy with a double D. And what's up?
I just wanted to say thank you to our friends at Crossbreed for introducing me to a new little toy on my computer.
Oh, your little friend pop up?
Yeah.
But we can't really talk about that on it.
Yeah, I know. If you guys at Crossbreed are listening, I appreciate it.
Hey, Crossbreed guys. Yeah. That little present that Mark left on your computers. Yeah, Jared's got that little present on his computer now. He's over there grinning. But what we've done is we're preparing to launch lots of classes for Student of the Gun University this year.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a rocket ship.
No, not rocket ship. Yeah. So, Jared, tell them how they can get more information about official Student of the Gun University training. Where can they go and how can they sign up?
You can go to studentofthegungear.com and you click on our little training courses tab over there on the left-hand side. I'm working on making some pages for you guys so you can get information a little bit easier, but they're not quite done yet. So go to studentofthegungear.com, click on the training courses tab, and all the classes that we have open right now will be there. And you can get all the information.
Yeah, I know you're upgrading the website all the time, but I don't want them to think they need to wait.
No, do it now.
No, they can,
right now.
Yeah, yeah, right now, this minute. Yeah, go to it. The classes are open. We have a Beyond the Band-Aid class, Fighting First Aid. We have a Force Options class, and then Pistol 101. And Pistol 101 is actually going to be followed up with Ballistic Problem Solving. And these are going to be available. As you hear this, Jared, you have the Ballistic Problem Solving up this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ballistic Problem Solving is thinking with a gun in your hand.
Well, even if I wasn't, now I have to.
Now you have to, that's right. See how that works, folks? I put them on the spot on air. All right, so, and you say, well, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good. I mean, I go to the range once a month and, shoot 50 rounds, and so I'm pretty good. Folks, pretty good or good enough is not. Remember that.
Didn't you do an article called Good Enough Is Not? Yeah,
I think I did a while back. Good enough is not. You should be constantly seeking more. And it comes down to it, what's your life worth? What is your family's life worth? Are you willing to? I'm not a gambler. I like to be prepared, and we would love to have you guys down here to come to Free America. Spend some time with us in Free America. And if you're up there in the slave states, it might be a good excuse for you to come down and maybe spend a little bit of time at one of the casinos. Now, I'm not a gambler, but
I was about to say if they're a gambler. Then.
Yeah, well, but my wife is. Well, here's the thing about casinos. We're like, well, I'm not a gambler. Dude, you don't have to be a gambler to stay at one of the resorts. They have luxurious pools and spas and fitness centers, and you can get a room that looks right out across the ocean, and you watch the dolphins jump in the in the wake every morning, and it's a good place. It's a good time.
We would recommend
good food.
What, the Hard Rock, the Beau, or the Golden Nugget?
Well, the Hard Rock for sure, the Beau Rivage, the IP.
Not the Nugget.
Well, I don't know. I've never stayed at the Golden Nugget. But I have stayed at all the other ones, and I can recommend those.
Did you hear that they're making a Harrah's property down here?
Yeah, it's the Harrah's Gulf Coast is what they're calling it.
Okay.
Yeah, Harrah's Gulf Coast. It's down by the Golden Nugget. So check it out. Get online. Check it out right now. You don't have to check it out right now. You can wait until you done listening to me. But the great thing about a podcast, Jared, about on-demand radio,
you can hit the pause button.
You can hit pause. That's
or
right.
You don't even have to hit the pause button. You can do it while you're listening. If
that
you can multitask like that.
You think a lot of our listeners can multitask?
I would assume that most of ours they have the opportunity, the ability, and the intent to multitask.
So you heard it. You have the opportunity, the ability, and the intent to multitask while listening to Student of the Gun Radio. Now let's talk about a Go Team moment.
What do we got? A Go Team here in, where is this?
I believe it was Iowa.
It says right here, it says Iowa. I just missed that part of the headline.
All right, it says Colville, Iowa. A homeowner and an alleged robber are in the hospital with serious injuries after a home invasion, and this would have been last Sunday, a week ago, as we record this. Police said shortly after 6 a.m., a man knocked on the front door of a Colville resident, and the man cut the homeowner in the neck with a knife. The homeowner then used a handgun and fired 3 shots into the man's torso. Now, we don't know if the attacker has expired yet. We got our fingers crossed. But and it said police said that it was a case of acting in self-defense. Well, no kidding. We wanted to talk about this for 2 reasons. Number one, you do not have to open the door to anyone at your home. People have this, your kids. Teach your kids this. Teach your kids not to just rip open the door for every stranger that knocks on it. We want to be polite. We want to be friendly. We want to, be seen as good people. And I had to tell my kids this, somebody would knock on the door and they'd run over there and rip the door open. Well, yeah, 99% of the time it's going to be your neighbor or somebody with a question or a vacuum cleaner salesman, but not always. And look at the time of this story. People always think, well, it's at night and it's going to be 2:00 in the morning, or it's going to be midnight, or the guy's going to be skulking around in a black ski mask and so forth. That's not really how it works anymore. What they do is they walk up to your door, they bang on the door, they bang on it enough so that if you don't answer it, they figure, nobody's home. Then they boot it and they go in and help themselves. Or if you open the door, unlock it, they push it open, put a gun or a knife in your face, and commence to robbing you. And that's what happened in this situation right here. So if someone comes to your home unexpectedly and uninvited, remember this. You don't have to open the door for them. Talk to them through the door. What do you want? What do you need? How can I help you? Oh, my car's broke down and I don't have a phone. Bull crap. 6-year-olds have phones in 2014. Adults, you don't have a phone? Say, okay, maybe it's the case. I'll call the sheriff's department. I'll let them know there's a car broken down on the road. They'll come and help you. You do not need to rip open the door and greet strangers. Now, it's up to you. You can do that if you want. And another thing, a good point this brings up now, it's 6 a.m. and the guy in question who got stabbed, he may not have been dressed and up for the day yet. But people ask us a lot, well, what should I do with my gun when I'm at home? And I say, put it on your body. Well, I'm not paranoid, Paul, or I'm not one of those crazy people. Or what? You're saying that I should actually have it on me when I'm at home, when I'm safe? I don't know. Are you safe at home? Was this guy safe at home? and they're worried about, where should I store the gun when I'm at home? Store it on your body. Attach the gun to your body. That way you're always in control of it and you always know where it is. It's as simple as that. And if you haven't come to that realization yet, if you're still in that, well, I don't want to do that. People will think I'm crazy. People will think I'm paranoid. I'd rather someone thought I was crazy or paranoid than to go visit me in the morgue. But, hey, live your own life. But we thought you'd appreciate that Go Team moment that came to us from Colville, Iowa. Now, as the summer progresses, obviously we've got a lot of stuff on tap for you guys. We're going to be doing a lot of filming this summer. We're going to be going up to the 4-H shooting education camp. We've talked about that during previous weeks. If you've been one of the people that have gone out there and supported 4-H, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We know that the kids that are involved in the 4-H shooting sports program appreciate it. And the 4-H youth development programs are fantastic. If you haven't had the opportunity to get involved with one, we highly suggest it. Now, Jared, how are we doing on time over there, my brother? Do we need to?
We're coming up on 40.
On 40? Okay.
Yeah. Real quick, you mentioned 4-H shooting camp, and I wanted to reach out to our audience and ask for some advice on, what do they call them? The little drones for cameras.
Oh, camera drones. Yeah.
I know some of you guys out there have some, and I've been looking at getting one, and I've read a bunch of reviews, and they all pretty much say the same thing about every one of them, and obviously they're not all the same. So if any of you have one and have used it, can you send me an email to Jared, Jarrad, at studentofthegun.com, and kind of tell me what your experience with yours is?
Oh, and Pablo?
Oh, yeah.
What does Pablo needs to do the same thing? Send you his...
He needs address, shirt size, and phone number.
That's right.
Do not forget the phone number, please. Thank you.
And it's not because we're going to call you and chat with you. We're not going to drunk dial you at midnight. Although Jared has been known to drunk dial good guys every once in a while and say, hey, man, I heard you're a student of the gun. No.
It makes for a good time. They enjoy it.
No, it's for the FedEx tracking, right, Jared? The FedEx has to have a phone number for tracking, yeah. FedEx, I don't know what it is, whether it's an efficiency thing or a safety thing, but I've noticed here a lot if I'm going to get a FedEx package, my phone will ring and it's Bill, the FedEx driver. I have a delivery and I wanted to make sure someone's going to be there. I'll be there in 30 minutes. And it could just be for an efficiency thing so that they're, not falling behind. I think it's a good idea for them because they're not just pulling into people's driveways unannounced. But usually they just leave the package anyway, unless it's fun stuff that you can't. Yeah, just leave. That is another thing. Is some of them, if you have a signature required package, they'll call, and if you're not there to sign for it, they won't even bother stopping. So I can understand that. That makes a lot of sense because I wouldn't want to waste my time banging on someone's door. It's a signature required, and now I just got to leave and go do something else because. If you guys are drivers, if you're delivery men, you know that your time is precious and that you're on the clock from the moment you start to the moment you finish.
Especially since we're way out here in the country.
Oh, yeah, we're way out here in the country, I see tractors every morning going to work.
Yeah. That's what the local internet provider told us, that we were too far out in the country to get internet.
We live 1.5 miles from an interstate, and the cable company told us we were too far out in the country.
You can get to Walmart in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what their definition of being out in the country is. It's like you don't live on top of each other in matchboxes in the city, so there are trees in your yard.
Yeah,
I guess if there are trees in your yard and inhabited by birds, you live out in the country. Well, folks, all right, that's going to bring us up to the end of part 1 of this week's episode. We hope you enjoy it. And Jared, how soon are they going to be able to watch the new? Probably in the next couple of weeks, the machine gun footage.
Oh yeah, I'm going to try to get that done for 2 weeks from
couple of weeks
tomorrow.
But don't forget, you can watch Student of the Gun TV Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's on Dish Network, channel 266. If you're on the East Coast, you have Shentel HD cable. You can watch us there. Wilderness TV now, Wilderness TV via Roku, Apple TV, Chromecast, and, of course, the mobile app. Don't forget about the mobile app. It's free. You can download it on any Google, Android, iDevice, iPad, whatever. Oh, hey, give our buddy, our cigar-smoking Twitter buddy, a shout-out just for funsies.
Yeah,
we had a really cool picture that was posted on Twitter just today. We were doing show notes, so I was actually prepping it, and I saw that something came up, and one of our fans is apparently sitting out on his porch with a cigar and his iPad, and he's using I don't know if he's using the mobile app. Maybe
Jeff Englert. No, I think he's using his iTunes app, podcast app from iTunes.
Okay, well, whatever.
That's the thing for Apple. Anyway, Jeff Englert, thank you for posting your picture. What kind of cigar is that?
I don't know. Smoke on, brother.
He just says enjoying a cigar.
There you go. That's what you need to do. Free America. Enjoy a cigar and student of the gun. That's how you know that you're a free man, or at least you're living like a free man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time we're together, remember, you are a beginner once, but you should be a student for life.